Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with the next episode of my series of Electric Adventures the games. So last time we did a Space War, which was the second title on what I published as Program Pack 2. So here's a actual original copy of Program Pack 2. I forgot that I should have been holding this up before. So the next one is Othellow Challenger. This one comes with a particular story. I was quite into the game Othello. So Othello is a game that you play on a checkerboard with it's just got squares on it, but the same 8x8 board. And you have pieces that can either be black or white. And you play one of the colours, black or white, and then every turn you must turn over at least one of the pieces of your opponent by outflanking it. So in other words, putting one, if you're white, if you put a piece either side of a black one, it would flip over that one in between. Obviously, any one in between in a line, in any lines that it forms, get flipped over. And it's quite an interesting strategic game. And this particular game is of interest because it's the very first game that I wrote with a proper game AI. So it actually does play quite a decent version of Othello. And I was actually quite pleased that when the first version of Windows came out, and it was actually OS2 that came with the version of Othello. I think they called it something. They didn't actually call it Othello because maybe they didn't have the original rights from the maker of the game. And my one could actually beat the Windows one on all but the highest level, which I was very, very pleased with. So I've loaded it up. Let's run it to start with. Well, it might help if I click in the right place. Actually, before we run it, let's just see how many lines of code this one is. So this is going to be a bit longer than the other ones. Okay, so we actually have 111 lines in this one, so it is a lot bigger than the other programs. Let's run it and have a bit of a play. That's my early name, publisher name, Unisoft. So, now it is just drawing using basic commands. So I probably could have got rid of some of the color clash that you're seeing there by modifying attribute tiles instead. But this is all done in basic. So how many players? We'll just go with one. Will you play black or white? Well, let's go for black. Black's move. So we use a sprite for a cursor here. So I need to place a piece so that a white piece is flanked. So I can't put a piece here because there's nothing down here. Okay, I can put a piece here. Sorry, it's a little sensitive. And here. And so I'm under emulation here. So what I'll do is I'll put a piece here. And you notice the white piece gets flipped over. So now it's white to move, so the computer's having a think. And it decides to go there. Right, now one key thing about Othello is not giving away the spots that you can't lose. So the places on the board that are worth the most are a corner. If you get a corner, you can't lose it, you can't be outflanked. If you get a side piece, it's very hard for you to outflank. So this territory in this one inner border is what you call the danger zone. So the computer will try and avoid it as it plays. You've got to try and trick it into using it. So I'm going to stay in the centre. Now by keeping my pieces in the centre, it does limit where the computer go. But you'll notice the next time the computer places a piece, it's going to grab two pieces, right? Because it put one here. And it flipped over that one there. Sorry, the cursor is skipping quite a lot. And there. So now I need to think about where I'm going to put my piece. And what the whole idea is, you need to try and force the other player into going outside the boundary. So we're not quite there yet. And I haven't actually played a real human in Othello for a while, so you never know. The computer might beat me. Okay. I reckon he'll go here. Square to the left of me. Ooh, we went over there, that's interesting. Like, I'm going to keep on going here. So he's going to go in one of those two squares down the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go here. And at the moment he still can't go in that empty one in the corner there, right? So now he can't go anywhere other than to go outside that magic middle area. Oh no, he can go in that one corner. I realise there's one flipped over. Oh, but he's gone there. Right, so now that gets a little bit more interesting. So now I can go over here and I can grab this edge. So he could go next to me. Although that is getting close to a corner and it can be a little dangerous. Right. Now obviously if I don't do anything about it, will put another piece on the other side of me here and take that, and I'll have lost that side. If I go here, it is an element of risk, because if he gets a piece up here, he'll be able to grab that corner off me, and there's a chance that I'll lose the corner myself. I don't really have a lot of choice though. Just think about where he would go next. I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to see what he does. He should capture that side place. Taking a little longer. It actually works on a point system as well. Right. So I can't go there because it wouldn't flip anything over. I can't go there. I either have to start going into this side here. I'm going to do there. He should take that one up. It's directly above there. That's what I would do as well if I was him. Okay, now I can go there. That would be a very bad idea. Or I can go here. Let's see where he figures it out. He went there. Right. So I'm going to go in the middle there. So at least we do have a side position. And he can't take that off me at the moment. But I've got to be careful, because as soon as I went one way, he could then take the rest of the ones along that side anyway. I'm going to go there. Now see, if I take that, I'll lose a corner. And if I take that, I'll lose a corner. So I'm not going to do that. Let's keep on keeping our options open in the centre over here. It's forward thinking. Yeah. So at the moment he can't use that to get to that edge. Right. I'll use that to take that side. So we're competing for possible moves at the moment. So I'm technically winning at the moment, but you can actually lose a game of Othello on the last move. Right, I'm going to keep on. Keep on capturing bits on that side. So it looks like white's behind at the moment, but I would actually count white as being ahead. I'm actually going to go there. I am catching that because I've got control of two sides just like he does now. Sneaky computer. Right, he's gone there, forcing me to take one next to a corner, so I better be very careful from now on. Otherwise we could go downhill lots. Right, he's gone for there. Because at the end of the day he is running out of places to go. Have to tread very carefully. Right, oh perfect. I've got a corner. And I've got the first corner too. Okay, so this actual segment up in the top left hand corner, I can't lose that segment now. Right, bending my sides. And the response time is not too bad for you know, an 8-bit computer. Just do that. So those bits are forever ours. You've just got to be careful that you don't run yourself out of moves in the end game as well, which we are rapidly approaching. Okay, I don't want to actually do that one there because that will lose this spot here, which means that he's got to move to go here. So what I'll do is I'll put mine here. Yeah, I thought it'd go there at all costs, trying to avoid that one down there. But I can go here without too much harm. He'll probably go that edge piece next though. Looks like he is going to get a corner. That's the one of the least harm. He'll lose this corner anyway, so I think we might as well do that. Right, just the luck of the draw. He could have actually done another move I saw there. So there we go, we have those first two roads, we can't lose them. So it's going to be very unlikely that I lose this game now. So he doesn't have a hell of a lot of moves. Right, I do this one. White has no move. Black has no move. And that's the end of the game, 50 to 13. I actually did quite well in the end, considering I haven't played a game for so long. But it's actually quite a compelling game and quite good fun. So, I actually don't know the keyboard combination to do control stop on it. Oh, hang on, we just do no and exits, of course. Stupid me. Alright, so this is going to be a bit more of a complicated listing, so we'll go through it, but nowhere near as much detail as we have with the other ones. So line 10, set up our screen mode, set up our random function, open our handle. Line 20, we hide the probably the sprite of the pointer. We put our title on the screen. We read in our sprite shape, which will just be that one sprite shape. call a couple of subroutines, look at those later. We've got a couple of flags, and we're actually into the main part of the game here already. So lots of go subs being used now. We actually have a variable called legal, and so let's go. Black has no move. We've got list 60 to 90. Right, black's move. Lots and lots of go subs here. It's going to be a bit harder to figure this one. Let's try this next section. And we're doing the same thing for white. So this is a little validation of whether there is a move available or not, and there's quite a few subroutines by the looks of it. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is going through, and we have a board array, which obviously holds all of our positions on our board. I mean, this has been so long, I actually couldn't tell you how the AI works. It's talking about distances and board positions. Yeah, it's sort of adding up. And how the AI works is by a scoring system. So I'll show you the grid at the end. We might actually just go to the end, because I'm really not going to be able to pull this apart that well. So that data at the end, obviously we have our sprite, and then we have the next lot of data, which are the weights I apply to the different parts of the board. And it's to do with whether you are, obviously, if a corner is worth the most points, 10. So if you can get a corner, you grab a corner. And 7 would have been a side. 5 would have been just trying to think what 5 would be. Yeah, so different weighting. So basically, it applies different weighting, different points. It adds on the distance of how many tiles it's going to be able to get of the opponents in one go, and that counts towards the score as well. And there's a little bit of randomness in there, so that it doesn't play exactly the same. Because it's got so many subroutines, I probably have to sit there and map it out a little greater. So I do apologise, I'm not going to go into this one's listings as much because it is a lot more complicated. But of course the listing will be available for download from my website. I'll put a link down below to the specific article on my website that tells you a little bit more about the game and about the history. I'll expand the article to go along with this video. Yeah, there's another one of my Electric Adventures of the Games. One of the ones that I am actually quite proud of. One back in the day where the Dean of Physics at my university praised me and how well it played. He actually liked to play this game, and he said it played quite well, and I had done a good job considering I hadn't actually done any AI components at university at the time. So it was around the stage where I was just starting university, so I hadn't actually done any more advanced computer science that was being taught at the time. So he praised me for being able to work out this AI and how well it works. And besides missing spaces and being all compressed, the code is reasonably readable, but to truly understand it, we'd need to break it down. Obviously a lot more use of subroutines and things like that to make the program more modularized, but all these years later with no comments in the code, it's very hard for me to just go in blind and work it out. So anyway, I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.